Përshëndetje të dashur teleshikues. Rikthehemi sot në një tjetër episod Koha Për Të Folur. Dhe siç e keni parë, ne jemi këtu sot në Durrës në konferencën 180 gradë për të rinjt. Kemi kaluar një kohë të mrekullueshme edhe vazhdojmë të kalojmë. Sot bashkë me ne është Georgia.
Hi.
Hello. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're so sweet.
Oh,
It's
that's
honestly, she's amazing. You're amazing.
You're amazing.
So I was talking to Georgia and I said, we were talking together and we were like, what would you like to share with our youth? And you told me the most, something that's so basic and simple and easy, and yet people don't talk about it that much. So we have a lot of people in school right now, or in work right now.
Yeah.
And school isn't always the most easy thing.
No.
Or work isn't almost like the most easy thing.
Neither of them are always easy.
Neither,
sure.
And not everyone's life is the same.
Yeah.
So they have different stuff. And but what I really see at our youth, when I see them, sometimes they feel like I failed. Like I can't do this.
Yeah.
I'm not doing school. Imagine me doing something else, something bigger, something greater.
Yeah.
And if I can do that, then what can I do? They say. Do you have anything to say to us about that, Miss G?
Miss G, yeah, I do. So when I was in school, I would have been kind of the teenager who I really struggled with school. I'm not naturally academic. I was more of the creative in school, right?
Yeah.
So if you put me in like a performing arts class, if I was singing, dancing, being a certified drama queen, I was incredible, right? That was where I was like thriving. But then you put me in maths or science,
like God get me out.
It was like, Lord, give me strength, right? And I think because of that, I actually became quite badly behaved at school, which is not something that I condone at all. But it means that nowadays I understand. I can relate to people who are in school, like teenagers, and they're like, gee, I just can't focus. And I'm like, I understand.
I get you.
I get you. And something that I really dealt with in school was like a fear of failure. So shout out to all of my oldest siblings. Okay, we know the pressure. And I had that kind of growing up. I was the oldest of my siblings and I was like my parents first. So I had to do everything. I had to be amazing at everything. And at times I felt the pressure. And yeah, to cut a long story short, God was really good in my life in terms of going from school to my career, because I didn't apply myself that way that I should have done. I didn't study.
Okay.
I used to, I would pick to do anything other than studying, which looking back I really regret nowadays, and I wish that
would have done differently in the situation.
Like I wish I would have tried a bit harder. I wish I'd have asked for help when I found things difficult. But sometimes, I was a big character in school. I was like, no, I don't need anyone's help. And actually I did.
Yeah.
And I wish nowadays that I had asked for help. Thankfully, by the grace of God, I have kind of had a career that has taken off that no one saw coming. So
amen.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
But I'm in a position in my life where, based on my schooling and my education, the door could only have been opened by Jesus, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I just love the way you said that. So there's hope for everyone.
There is hope for everyone.
Yeah.
So like if I could go back and talk to myself at the age of like 13 through 16, 17, I would say, gee, do you know what? Work hard. Apply yourself. Because I think it's also, that's the way that we can reflect Jesus in school.
Yeah.
Is by working hard. The way that we show up in every aspect of our life is a reflection of who God is. But also, I would say, the pressure's off. Work hard, but don't worry about what's next. Just focus on giving the best that you've got right now.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's a wonderfully put, to be honest.
Oh, thank you.
Not everyone has to be, and I'm explaining myself this way, an Einstein or an IQ of 160, 70. Like, with what you got, do what you can.
Absolutely.
And if it doesn't work out the best way you thought it would, put it on the Lord. And by saying this, we're not saying don't work.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we're saying keep a healthy balance.
Yeah.
Like, find a middle ground.
Yeah.
If you see that something is just like not working out, and you're trying your best, leave it to God.
And it's like, it's give everything that you've got, but trust that God's going to do with that what He's going to do with that.
Yeah.
Because God's got a plan for it, right?
True.
You just have to show up and give your best self.
I meet a lot of young people who are just, they're like, we have exams coming up, we have this, we have that, and we're stressed. And I can relate to that. Yeah. Yeah, been through that, done that. It's not fun.
No.
It's not fun. And especially when the situation is different, or your people have like different households, different teachers, different people. Like, not everything is as easy as it looks. Like, just a test, no, that meant something to me.
Yeah.
Or I tried hard for that. So can you give us maybe a piece of advice for someone who is transitioning from that era of their life, like the tests, the studies, to now college and work and...
Yeah, for sure. So my best bit of advice for someone who is going from education to the workplace or further kind of studies is, it sounds ridiculous, but you know how everyone says you're going to miss school, right?
Yeah.
When you're out of school, you're going to miss it.
You're going to miss it.
You are going to miss it, okay? Yeah. It's just a fact, you're going to miss school. But what I found the biggest difference was in school is that when you're in school, even if you don't have kind of the best teachers or the best kind of peers, that kind of thing, you're in a position where the goal is for you to kind of do well. Right.
Succeed in a way.
Yeah, and there are external factors to just you that are pushing you to kind of be successful.
Yes.
But when you step into the workplace and further education, you take more of it on yourself. And so it's in that moment that you have to choose, like, even when it's difficult, I'm going to put my best foot forwards. Because, for example, my manager doesn't go, Georgia, have you studied for your test? Yeah. I'm like, no. I'd be like, no. But she doesn't do that, because that's now on me to take that ownership. And it's one of the things that we learn a lot as we kind of grow up and as we get out of school and we go into kind of the more adult world, is that we take our own ownership.
I really like how you put that, because of course we want to say that when you have hard times of focusing at something, or maybe something that's just not going smoothly, but at the same time, I think we as young people should take more ownership when it comes to stuff. We should not be just like, oh, leave it to time. Oh, leave it, I'll do it. Yeah. Oh, like, okay, I'm young, I can do this now. Yeah. And then invest now, those seeds now, so then later you can have them.
And also start small.
Yeah.
So, I mean, parents are probably going to love me for this, but start with taking ownership of your washing.
The dishes.
Do the laundry. Doing your room. Yeah. And it sounds ridiculous, but when you kind of transition into an adult, I've had moments in my life where I'm like, oh my goodness, there's so much that I have to do and that I have to take that ownership of. And actually looking back, if I'd started it from a younger age, you can kind of build up that capacity to then hold.
As weather is coming like in a bomb, like you have everything to do.
Exactly.
No, what you said was so right, because you have to start from somewhere. Yeah. We have this mindset going around that the millionaire, the billionaire mindset, that's what I called it. Young people are saying now, okay, I want to open up a business and I want to be a billionaire, a millionaire, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Don't we all?
Yeah, don't we all? Who doesn't?
I would love.
But they have some unrealistic expectations about it. If you don't do something, it's not just going to pop out.
Yeah.
It's not just going to work. You have to do something for it. And it starts small. Nobody has started huge.
No.
Everyone has started small.
Yeah.
Like, it starts somewhere. So doing your dishes, doing this.
Doing your dishes.
You know, working, like maybe serving food. You start there. And then you save up money. And then you buy something.
Yeah.
And then you take ownership of what you bought. And you take care of it.
Yeah. And also, I think that's so much more rewarding.
Yes.
It's so much more rewarding to go from little and then grow it.
Yeah. Did you get my point?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I don't have anything against millionaires. Just saying.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
who
pop
wouldn't?
off.
Yeah, exactly. But just start somewhere and don't be afraid to start small.
Yeah.
Like, I've met people who are like, we're afraid that our friends are going to see us and think that, oh, he has no money, so he's working at a cafe shop.
Okay. I've actually got a really good point on this.
Okay.
So
Hit me with it.
So I work in the corporate world, right? And it is so glaringly obvious when someone is in like one of those, you know, like the big dog positions.
Yeah.
They're at the top of the corporate food chain. They're the director. They're the one with like the fancy car and the big...
They pull the strings.
Yeah, right. So it's really obvious when someone in that position has not started in the small.
So true.
It's so obvious. And then they're not always the best people to be in leadership and to be in those big
Even around
jobs.
with.
Yeah. And so don't, it's biblical as well, don't despise the small beginnings.
True.
God is doing something in those small moments, in those things where you're kind of a bit like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm working hard, but I don't really know why. God's there. And you don't know what it's going to look like 2, 4, 6, 8, however many years down the line, but be faithful in the small and trust God for the big. That's what I've done in my career so far.
Right. I was going to say that. That was on point. I remember, I have to tell this story. I remember I had a Nokia phone. I had such a small phone.
The Nokia brick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't break a thing. You could break your head with that, and the phone wouldn't budge. So, and then I was young, and I wanted a phone, because everyone in my class had, like, an iPhone.
Yeah.
And I told my dad, I want an iPhone. And he says, I've seen the way you treat this Nokia phone.
Yeah.
So if you don't treat this right, what makes you think when you get an iPhone, you'll treat it right?
Why can you be trusted with something expensive and glamorous if you can't look after what you've already got?
And I got mad. I said, that's not the same thing. Like, I want my iPhone. Do you think I'm going to throw around an iPhone? And he said, no, I want you to get this. And I got it. And I said, okay. So then I started taking care of my Nokia phone.
Yeah.
I didn't throw it, but I just taken care of it. And like you said, faithful and small. And then I had my iPhone. I had my big break. My iPhone
She made it, guys.
I made it.
She turned up to school, made it,
with my
flashed
iPhone.
it. Yep.
And everyone was so shocked. It was like, she got an iPhone. The Nokia girl got an iPhone. Yeah, they keep staring at my phone. I was like, you see this?
But you didn't just get it because you wanted it.
Yeah.
You got it because you demonstrated that you would treat it well.
So true. Can you talk to us a little about that?
Yeah, what you want to know?
Okay, so you said you work in corporate.
Yes.
Right?
Girl boss.
I imagine, yes, and I love that. So I imagine that you had to deal with a lot of people on the way.
Yeah.
Right? So people who don't usually, you get on the right, they're not very understandable.
Yeah.
And people, they tend to have this, when you don't have a higher education, if I can say that, they tend to look down on you. And I don't like that. No, I don't agree with that.
It. I've experienced it.
Yeah.
And so for a bit of context, I started as an apprentice and now I've kind of climbed up the ranks and I'm being a corporate girl boss, right?
Amazing.
That's kind of just the plainest way to put it. And when I was an apprentice, people would ask me if I was qualified to be in a room.
They'd ask you that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, okay.
How awful.
That's not nice.
No, but it made me more secure in who I was because it made me go, oh no, actually I am.
Yeah.
And because I went into kind of the corporate world quite young. So I was 18 when I stepped into the corporate world, when a lot of people were going to university. I went straight into working. And this was before I discovered the hairdresser. This was before I kind of got into fashion. So I looked about 12 when I stepped into this kind of corporate world.
Yes.
Right. And so it's understandable that people would go,
why are you here?
Why are you here?
Yeah.
And them questioning me made me go, actually, no, why am I here? What do I like? What do I want to get out of this? And I fell in love with the way that business runs.
Yeah.
And particularly in the way that people are looked after in a business. Because I personally believe that a business is only ever going to be as successful as its people are looked after. So if you look after your people well, your business is going to thrive. That kind of thing.
I so agree with you on this one.
And so that's where my career's gone. I've gone down that path of the people side of it. But because I fell in love with it, I developed that passion. So I worked hard. I was grafting 9 to 5.
Yeah.
An opportunity would come up and they'd be like, Georgia, do you want to get on board with this project? I'd be like, yes, sign me up. Of course,
yeah.
Because I wanted to get the experience. I wanted to get the exposure. And I was doing the worst of the worst jobs. I was inputting data, which is painful. It's like brain numbing.
I agree. I know what you mean.
But I had the dream and I had the desire and I had the passion to go off and be that.
I had the goal. Yeah.
The corporate girl boss.
Yeah.
And so I was faithful. People would ask me for something and I wouldn't wait around. I wouldn't delay it. I would go, yeah, actually, you've given that to me. You've trusted me with this. So I'm going to give it back to you and it's going to be exactly what you need it to be. And because of that, I've had 4 promotions in 6 years.
That's actually amazing.
Yeah.
You like, we've got to understand, promotions aren't the easiest thing. No, they aren't easy. So that's a huge milestone.
Yeah. And that's just come from me being faithful and also a little bit like some help from like God in opening the doors. And that is something that I've been blessed with.
And can I say, you went directly to work, you didn't go to school. And that just proves our point.
Yeah.
You don't need to, I think people, I have nothing against school. I personally love school.
Yeah.
But you don't need to have 50, 30, 13, 3 schools to be able to do something.
And do you want to know why I didn't go to university?
Okay, please tell me.
I didn't go to university because I knew that I would be the person that walked out of university with a lot of debt, no degree, and I would have made some really questionable decisions at uni in terms of my lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I said, do you know what, God, I'm going to trust that there's a better way for me personally.
Yeah.
I think university is amazing if you use it right, but I knew that if I went to university, I wouldn't have got out of it what I was intended to get out of it.
We have to say, you trusted the process. And what I mean by that is, you knew what was best for you. You did it. You did it with God's help. And I have to say, we don't do stuff, oh, Elena's good and she can do it. Yeah. No, I do it with God. Because if you leave it up to me, I'd mess it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I do it because He gave me mercy, or He gave me grace to do that.
Yeah.
And what I just really want to say this and really just like push on it, press on it. The fact that not saying school is bad again, but
it's not bad.
It's not bad. I do school myself.
I love
It's
that.
not bad. But I just want to say that you can do, even if you don't have school, it's not the end for you.
No.
You can do so much. I've seen people who have not gone to school do more than people who have finished God knows how many schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a list of degrees longer than their arm. Yeah.
And they work for nothing. Excuse me, I mean to say no harm to the degrees. I love the degrees.
We love degrees.
Yeah, we love the degrees.
I don't have one, but I love degrees.
Exactly. But what have they done with it? Yeah, you just did a degree. Where's the leading? Where's the grace? Where's the... Yeah, and if your grace is to go and get the degrees, get the degrees.
And I love that.
And I love that.
I
and
believe
God
that
will
I'm
open
going to get a
door.
degree one day.
I believe that for
now.
you as well.
I just didn't, it wasn't the path that God had for me.
Yeah.
So maybe. I believe I will have a degree one day.
But you trusted the process.
Yeah.
You put trust in that. Was it hard for you at the beginning to put trust in that?
Yeah. So before I got my apprenticeship, I worked at a burger restaurant. I was a waitress. I meted and greeted people. I was that annoying server. You know when you go to a restaurant and you kind of walk through the door and they're like, "Hi, welcome.
No, but that's
How
me.
many of you
No,
are
but
there?"
that's
That
me.
was me.
Okay.
And I loved it. I loved it, but I knew that God had something more for me. I just had no idea. So yeah, it was scary taking
first.
that. Yeah.
I have to say though, you took an act of faith. You put your foot forward and you said, I don't know where this is going.
No.
I have a word.
Yeah.
And I will stick to it. And people, I often catch people doing this. They go, why am I not successful right now in my life?
Yeah.
And God, and we always say this, go back to what God told you the first time. And if he said do that, then you do it. And then when you do the first step, he shows you the second step. And he shows you the third step. Because we serve a God of faith.
Yeah,
and he requires that we have faith in what he tells us to do, right? So you do the first step, and then he tells you what to do to the second and the third, and then your way just lights up. And you told me you had 4 promotions in 6 years.
God is good.
Was it easy?
No.
Yeah. So it was hard.
It was tough. It wasn't easy, but I made it.
Did you have a moment where you said, God, I need help because I don't know what I'm going to do. I can barely take it anymore.
Yeah, so I've had a few of those moments over my kind of career. The first one was when I opened my results on results day. This is actually a really funny story. My mum is still not over it to this day. I opened my results and they were so bad that I ran away from results day. She was in the car park waiting for me and I just ran away. So she was just waiting in the car park for like 45 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, and I just had one of those moments where I was like, I've failed. God, I need help.
Yeah.
I need you to do something with this, because at this point I can't even go back and tell my mum, let alone how am I going to kind of move on and do something with my life? How am I going to be something?
Yeah.
Make something of my life if I can't even
get a test right.
Yeah. And so I had that moment, and that's when I felt really kind of clearly from God. It's like, give me a year. I was like, okay.
I'm so passionate about what you just said. I think you can hear me, like my voice is getting higher by the moment. Because failing a test doesn't mean you're stupid.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
Failing something doesn't mean you don't have the brain capacity to do something. In fact, it doesn't mean everyone has failed something, like at one point of time in their lives. I mean, look at you now.
Oh, and don't get me wrong, in work I've even made so many mistakes.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's just life.
Yeah.
But one mistake or one kind of failure, that is not the end. It's not the end.
It's not the end.
It's not the end.
Brighter days are coming ahead.
Hallelujah.
So you went from not going to college to being, as we said, boss girl level corporate.
Yeah.
So in that amount, like that period of time, what was one advice you'd give to someone who hasn't finished school, has no plans of going back to school, doesn't see herself or himself in that way, but just wants to get a job that is like that brings them resources?
Yeah. So what I would say is pick something that you're interested in. There's no point, if you want something that you're going to be able to develop in and kind of go up the ladder, the kind of the corporate career ladder, whatever you want to call it. If you want to go up the ladder, there's no point picking something that you think is just going to make you the most money, because you're going to hate it and you're going to fall out of love with it. And you're not going to have the passion to put with the hard work and the grit. So pick something that you're interested in. And this is what God said to me was, give me a year, right? And so I picked something that I was semi kind of interested in. I love people, I'm nosy, and I like to problem solve. So I picked something that fit that bill, right? And I gave God a year. And in that time, part of me giving God a year with my career was giving everything that I had to it, to kind of give it a go. Yeah. What I wanted to know after the year was, one, do I still enjoy it? Because if not, I've only given it a year. And I've still got time to kind of,
to recover.
Tap out and go and try something else. But I've also given it everything that I've got. So if I do enjoy it at the end of this year, I've now got a solid foundation to go off of and go up that kind of ladder and continue developing. And then my second kind of piece of advice would be, say yes. Say yes to the opportunities. You may feel like you have no idea kind of what you're doing, particularly if you step into like a new career field. Just say yes. People will help you. There'll be resources out there to help you succeed, but just say yes. Give it your best shot.
I'd also add, follow the peace.
Yeah.
Peace, where you have to understand something. I always say this to myself, do I have peace to do this thing? And if it sounds crazy, but I have peace to do this, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But if it sounds normal, just completely normal, and I'm not at ease, then I won't do it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'd say, make God the center of your life. And then when you relocate, or when you turn, you have that direction to go and do that.
Absolutely. And I really like what you said about making God the center of your life, because if I hadn't had God at the center of my life at that time, I would not be where I am today.
Couldn't make that decision.
I couldn't have made the decision. I don't believe the door that opened for me would have opened, and I wouldn't have had, I think the fruits of the Spirit have been really key in kind of me in my career, because I'm patient. I'm patient with people. I've had that self-control to, you know what, just sit down, G, and do your work. Yeah. Like, it's easy, like, particularly I work in an office. Everyone's yapping all the time. And it would have been so easy for me to go, oh yeah, do you know what, I'm just gonna go make a tea, and I'm gonna go and have a yap with this person, and then
have a conversation with this person,
Yeah, but no, I had that self-control to sit down and be like, no, I'm gonna give it. And then I show up well in the workplace, because I know Jesus, and I ask him on a daily basis. I'm like, God, I'm going to work today. Help me show up like you would. So yeah, I wouldn't be where I am if I hadn't had Jesus at the center of my life.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I really love that.
Thank you.
It was such a pleasure to have you here, and thank you for speaking on a subject that many people are afraid to touch. Yeah. Many people are afraid to say, oh, I failed this. Oh, I didn't do this. Oh. And I think no shame in that. Yeah. Yeah. If you use that as your testimony to be stronger and to be, just go and understand, go have a relationship with God, a deeper relationship with God, and no shame in that. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure having you here. Thank you. Kjo ishte programi për sot. Shpresoj shumë që t'ju ketë pëlqyer. Ne e tham, po unë dua ta them prap, nëse ke një problem, nëse nuk e ke kaluar një test, një provim, ose ndoshta je thjesht i stresuar për gjëra që do të bësh, ca gjëra thjesht leja Zotit edhe i durueshëm që t'ja lësh barat e tua Perëndis. Ne pam një histori të mrekullueshme se si një person që nuk e kishte bërë shkollën e lartë, në fakt u kthye në një person që u bë, dhe mund të them, ta përdor këtë fjali, u bë një boss në mënyrë se si ajo punonte. Kështu që me hyrjen e Perëndisë ne mund të arrijmë gjitha gjërat. Shpresoj që të keni një javë sa më të mirë, ne ju bekojmë dhe bashkë shihemi radhës tjetër. Mirupafshim.